Hello, good morning, distinguished participants on this call. I'd like to welcome you to today's Tito Space, organized by Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited. My name is Paula Aniobi, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited, a foremost and premium microfinance bank in Nigeria. We've been in business for over 30 years, and our focus is financial inclusion, poverty alleviation, and empowerment, focusing critically on MSMEs, to ensuring that they have easy access to funding, and to drive their business optimally. Today, I will be speaking on creating funding opportunities for SMEs, and this space is organized by Lapo Bank Limited. As is MSMEs make up of over 96% of businesses in Nigeria, but of course, we still find out that MSMEs still, face some funding gaps. And for us as a microfinance institution in Nigeria, we are very committed, to ensuring that these gaps are bridged sustainably. It is why this space is organized to ensure that we have conversations around the ability to close this gap effectively, and also look to a better future for micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria. And today we'll discuss these challenges and opportunities with Mr.Bola Lawal, the CEO of Premia Business Network, and Mrs. Paula Aniobi, head of retail and corporate banking at Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited. Very quickly, I will introduce our guest speakers who will do justice to this conversation today. Mr. Lawal. Mr. Bola Lawal is an accomplished entrepreneur with a proven track record in driving impactful initiatives and fostering innovation. As the convener and CEO of Premia Business Network, Premia BN is dedicated to empowering businesses and entrepreneurs by creating platforms that enhance collaboration and growth opportunities. He also serves on the advisory committee at 3MTT Nigeria, contributing to the strategic group of programs that address pressing social economic challenges. Paula Aniobi currently is the head retail and corporate banking in Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited. She has before her appointment as the head of retail and corporate banking, she was the head of the SME desk in Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited, championing innovative solutions to addressing the funding gaps for SMEs, ensuring that SMEs are powered sustainably. Today, Paula Aniobi will join Mr. Bola Lawal to have this conversation to ensure that we deliver value to our various speakers, and ensuring that we take tangible feedback to impact on our various business environment. So we'll go quickly into the conversation today. Now on this call, I have Mr. Bola Lawal and Mrs. Paula Aniobi, who will be doing justice to the conversation. So Mr. Bola, I will start with you, right? So how would you describe the current landscape of SME funding in Nigeria, particularly in terms of access to financial resources?
Thanks for the introduction. I am Paula Lawal. I run probably one of the largest business networks in the last couple of years. It's come on the scene, and we have a huge following in Nigeria. We have members in 26 countries. And the composition of our community is SME startup heavy. I'll probably say at least 50 to 60% of our members are involved in the SME startups. And I'm giving this pretext to kind of dive into the topic about the landscape of funding for SMEs. It's challenging, like it has always been, but probably even more so now, with interest rates, with a lot of things that have happened. So I look at it from this two ways. Financiers see SMEs for the most part as a little bit more risky, and then SMEs on their own side, unfortunately, when you see things abroad, mismanagement of funds, or quite right, just backing the wrong horse and putting money in the wrong ideas or not fully fleshed ideas. The thing is, there's been also on the SME side, the success stories aren't faster or aren't more than the mishaps or the or less successful stories. So it has put a cloud on the funding landscape. So again, if I'm going to talk about, okay, what's the funding landscape, or on why it is the way it is, part of it is on, okay, apprehension from financiers, funders, but also interest rates being pretty high, and people that have money to lend want to de-risk their funding, so their lending, or their financing, so they really pick. They're very selective on who they choose to fund or finance. And on the other hand, had unfortunate issues where things have not gone the way it needs to go, or through by default of the promoters or founders of the SMEs, or just economy. So it's challenging. It's a very challenging atmosphere for SMEs to access financing, particularly around cash flow, line of credit, because at the end of the day, business cycle, even in Nigeria, whether you're B2B or B2C, especially B2B, the cycle for getting your money, your revenue from your business partners could be a little bit longer, and you have other things to do, you have obligations to meet, and it's just quite challenging. And that's probably the access to finance landscape. It's probably one of the largest reasons why companies now are not as successful, or they go out of business because they can't access finance. So it's very challenging, more so challenging now. But and as we talk later on in the session in terms of what are the sources, what are alternative sources, we can talk about different ways to go about finding finance. But just just straight up, it's tough. It's tough right now for SMEs to access funding, particularly even our method of accessing funding, especially collateralized financing. If you're going for debt, if you are in the agribusiness and you have a farm in Oyo, and you're trying to get funding, and they're like, oh no, you need to bring collateral, and you have to bring a house in Lekki. And you think of someone that is doing something or your state, maybe in saying, but the collateral to get the loan to finance the agribusiness, who's an SME, should come from a property in Lekki. So the challenges are there, strong, but alternative sources are there too. With the use of technology, there are also things that people can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bola Lawal. I mean, those are very deep insights that you have shared with us. I'm grateful for those insights. I would believe that this will further stimulate this conversation today, and also we will impact better on the SME landscape in Nigeria. So, I mean, this is quite interesting to see that in spite of the available SMEs, still, there's still a huge gap for funding for SMEs in Nigeria today, and it's important for all stakeholders to sort of provide opportunities, that would enable the SMEs to deliver more values across the value chain. Now, so I'll quickly go to our other guest speaker, Mrs. Paula Aniobi. Please tell us, Paula, how is Lapo Microfinance Bank addressing the funding gap for SMEs? Are there specific initiatives or loan products that have been particularly successful in addressing the funding, gaps for SME? Mrs. Paula Aniobi.
Thank you for joining the space, and thank you, Bola Lawal, for your contribution in terms of the landscape for SMEs. And for us in Lapo Microfinance Bank has been established since the 80s with the mission of providing financial services to the unbanked and underserved population in Nigeria. We actually started with 3 customers, and over time we've been able to serve over 6 million customers in 34 states and 535 branches across the Federation. So with this that we've done, over the years, we've been able to actually empower small and medium enterprise owners, irrespective of the challenges that entrepreneurs are having, in order for us to drive sustainability and transform life through innovative solutions. In 2024 alone, we were able to disburse about 230 billion to SMEs, and over the past decades, we've done more than 1.5 trillion naira in microcredit. These figures are just a testament of our ongoing efforts to close the funding gap that has long hindered small businesses' growth in Nigeria. We recognize that SMEs are the backbone of our economy, and we equally recognize the fact that SMEs are facing huge challenge in terms of the high interest rates. As we can see what is happening in the country, so lending has become so expensive, and this has actually in a way affected the SMEs. So when you have high interest rates, stringent collateral requirements like Bola mentioned, that you will now be asked to go and bring a house in Lekki, how many SME will be able to provide that? And the limited financial literacy. So for us in Lapo, we try as much as possible to bridge this gap. We so simplified our processes and procedures that it is easier for customers to actually approach Lapo, and because we offer tailored loan product that addresses the uniqueness of small medium enterprise. Our product provides loans of up to 5 million without collateral, making funding accessible even to those who lack traditional assets. Having it in mind that SMEs contribute to over 45% of the country's GDP and account for over 90% job in the country, yet face these challenges, including the inflation, which has actually affected the purchasing power of customers. So this, in a way, has affected most of our SMEs customers. And for the years that I've managed SME in Lapo, I see the major challenge is bridging that gap. And Lapo has done that effectively with the tailored products that we've been able to actually push into the market. Not just tailored product, but innovative product. Our partners are our SME customers, and we've been able to create a friendly bank that will be able to serve this group of people. Show me a prosperous business, and I'll show you a business that prudently applies loan and other financial instruments for growth. Fund may be adequate to begin, but it's always inadequate to scale. So we are saying borrow, but do that wisely by meeting the financial institution that will be able to cover up this gap in a simplified manner. And Lapo, in a way, has been able to do that effectively. Money is to a business enterprise as is to human body. Businesses become anemic and underperformed when faced with liquidity challenge. And for us in Lapo, we've been able to do that. We've been able to assist SMEs to manage their day-to-day operation and seize new opportunities. We give loans for as low as 100,000, and we can equally give loan as high as 100 million to enable entrepreneurs to expand their without heavy financial burden. What you just need to do for us is to make sure that you have your financials ready and your business cash flow is okay. Once we've been able to establish that, getting funding in Lapo is not a challenge. And we've made it so simple that our customers, over 6 million customers that we've worked with over the years, have been able to attest to that testament that Lapo, in a way, has improved their life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Paula Aniobi, for those insights provided. I mean, it is obvious in the conversation that Lapo Microfinance Bank, for since inception, has disbursed over 1.7 trillion naira to micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria, in a country where the funding gap is so huge. But Lapo is making an inroad to bridging those gaps sustainably. I mean, like you mentioned, just in 2024 alone, the bank disbursed over 200 billion, to micro, small, medium enterprises in the country. This is to ensure the sustainability of the sector and to ensure that micro, small business owners are able to scale, impacting more lives even within their own immediate environment and communities. And by the way, also powering the economy. Knowing fully well that the SMEs contribute over 40% to the gross domestic product of this country today. It is the engine of the country's economy, also providing employment opportunities to Nigeria. So we are very deliberate at Lapo Microfinance Bank about SMEs business, empowering them, in a more sustainable manner. Thanks so much, Paula, for those very insights you provided. We will now encourage our participants, to make contributions. We'll take some questions, take some some feedback, and have a proper interaction and engagement. So we'll leave the mic accessible to our various participants to ask questions.
Okay, so I was just, we saw the news today about Lapo um, rolling out rolling out an app that does everything, probably similar to the likes of MoneyPoint and MoneyPoint and OPay and the rest of them like that. So I just wanted to ask, from her standpoint, with her role, what role does she see? Or what Ms. Paula, what role do you see technology playing in? Because you said it's much easier to access loans and things like that from Lapo. So now with the use of technology now, like how do you think that will make things even that will deepen the penetration with SMEs, particularly maybe not as traditional SMEs, maybe even startups. A lot of the tech companies, believe it or not, need the same things because they are SMEs. If you look at it very well, how would you see the adoption of technology now helping to deepen that reach that the massive reach that Lab already has, but also touch on growth areas that maybe you're necessarily um, penetrated in the past?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. The role of technology, for example, in terms of efficiency and productivity, technology can actually automate various businesses processes. Then for us in Lapo, just imagine without our app, we've been able to reach about 6 million. And with the app that we are launching recently, we aim to broaden it that it is going to reach more persons because banking has actually gone beyond the traditional method that you need to start visiting branches and all that. At the comfort of your room, at the comfort of your office, at the comfort of your space, you can actually just pick up your phone and apply for a loan. And in less than 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 minutes, the loans can be granted. So that will actually help to bridge the gap and equally improved on financial inclusion, meaning that more people that are unserved will now be served. And for Lapo MFB, we are going to start with a small ticket loan, especially for low income earners, because we believe that launching a app, we really have to put so many things in check in order to make sure that we reach as many people as possible. So if we launch a app, it's going to actually improve our productivity, it's going to improve our customers' experience. For example, the e-commerce platform, the social media, the customer relationship management platform, we are going to use that to actually deepen our reach. To equally increase our access to market. Technology will provide SMEs with access to global market through various online marketplaces and digital marketing channels. It's going to equally help us in making better decisions. So aside from even introducing our app, we equally train our customers on how to be financially literate. And that's what we have been able to do excellently well for Lapo. We have a customer in Lapo that we have moved. The first loan that customer took was 30,000 with Lapo. And as we speak, the last loan that was granted to that customer is 45 million. Imagine what that could do with the help of technology. So for us, introducing our app to the market is going to help us expand our scope. It's going to help us expand our market reach, and more persons who have been financially deprived of reaching more that will equally help them to grow in their businesses. Thank you.
But I also wanted to see if she can also shed a bit light on making the distinction between the individual customers, and then because I heard that Ms. Paula also handles corporate, right? So the individual customers versus the businesses themselves. There's a distinction, and or would there be a different approach to, especially even in more unconventional or traditional SMEs, maybe more SMEs that are technology inclined?
For We have different type of loan products tailored towards the customer's needs. We have over 20 products. So that determines the kind of facility that will be granted any of our customers. So if your business is between, let's say, 100 to 5 million, depending on your cash flow, if we are carried out our appraiser, if I've done our business analysis and assessment and done our KYC, KYB. So that determines the kind of loan that will be granted to that particular customer. So if we give a loan of, for example, 800 to 5 million, that does not actually require a collateral, just I mentioned earlier when I was talking. Now, if the loan is not a corporate loan, that you now have to take a loan as huge as 50 million or as much as 100 million, then we could now start requiring, you are now required to provide for us your bank statement. We have to carry out our cash flow analysis to see what is your repayment capacity in order to know, because we believe so much in our client protection principles. We don't want to over-indebt our customers. For us, it is for you to get a loan, pay at your convenience. We don't want to burden you with a loan that it will not be difficult for you to pay. So we do a business analysis for you. We carry out a financial literacy for you. If you don't have a record, we help you set up your business so that at least you can have a record. First thing, one of the major challenges of SMEs is lack of proper record keeping. No matter how much you are doing, if you don't have a proper record to present, it is difficult for financial institutions to actually grant you the facility that would actually be adequate for your business. So we take you through all that and carry out our credit appraisals and all that, and we grant you a facility that will be suitable for your type of business. And if you have done all that, at least one of our loan products will suit to your need. All our loan products are designed according to the needs of the customer. Ours is to bridge that gap, and we are satisfied to say that we have done that successfully. Thank you.
I have, first of all, I've been a Lapo fan for a long time. I actually visited the former office in Ikeja when I was still running my
Oh, wow.
edtech startup. I was trying to do a partnership on education financing, and that was probably like 6 years ago. So I'm a big fan. This is like is a real happy moment for me. Okay, so I wanted to ask about partnerships.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask about partnerships because when some of my community members, for example, saw that I was going to come on here and speak, I have one it's called Yewo. They do insurance for um, low income earners and things like that. I was just wondering, in this new push, particularly also with the use of technology, is how is Lapo looking at partnerships with communities, with other smaller businesses, or SMEs? So there's some SMEs, for example, that they're SME in nature, they're small business, but then they cater to hundreds, if not thousands, of people, and those people could be Lapo users, customers, and things like that. So I just wanted to know what the partnership landscape looks like to be able to bring in more people in the fold that Lapo wants and needs. So how are you approaching part even with some of these SMEs or even with communities?
Okay, let me respond to that. Thank you so much, Paula, for that question. Thank you for being a big fan of Lapo Finance Bank Limited. We're very we're encouraged to do more. I was so very grateful for your warm comments about the situation. Lapo is deeply committed to empowering micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria, and that is what we've done over the years, consistently for over 30 years now today. As part of our strategy for growth, and new market and reach. As a matter of fact, partnership is one of the biggest things we will do this year. Identifying, critical stakeholders, that we can partner with to reach more people, more SMEs. For instance, we have in existence partnership, with associations, that has a community of people, and so we reach out to the associations, to onboard, and take off our loans. So for us, we'll expand that scope this year by identifying even more, communities, more associations and to drive better penetration and empowerment, for micro, small, and medium enterprises. So for us, we'll look at partnership, even more keenly this time around, with a view to be able to reach out to more MSMEs, as well as also having more impact in terms of depth of reach and empowerment across those communities. So for us, it is something we're looking at very critically this year, and to ensure that we deepen our scope and also drive better penetration and engagement with the various stakeholders within the SME space. So partnership for us is a big deal, and we're looking forward to having a lot of partnership this year. It was meet our own objective as an institution that is committed to improving lives, as well as also empowering the SME space to deliver more even to the economy of the country. So we're looking towards partnerships this year.
In addition to what Remy has said, partnership is what we have done excellently well for Lapo, both internationally and locally. For institutions like the International Finance Corporation and the Development Bank of Nigeria, we've actually partnered with those institutions to increase funding availability. This partnership has enabled us to offer affordable loans, develop innovative financial products, and support capacity building initiatives for SME. Like for last year, 2024, we are the best financial institution supporting female-owned business. We equally got an award for best financial institution supporting agriculture. We equally are the best financial institution in terms of highest impact in South-South. We are the best MFB with the highest impact on micro, small, and medium enterprise in Nigeria. And this we've successfully done through partnership. For example, for DBN business support loans, we financed loans up to like more than 10,000 SMEs we have been able to support through the DBN support program. And those we successfully did with partnership. DBN partnership with Lapo is actually meant to bridge that gap. And it has provided us as a bank credit guarantee and equally technical assistance to our numerous customers. Since the partnership, we have received over 30 billion. If we are not doing well as a bank, I don't think an institution like DBN will partner with us. So we've successfully done partnership internationally, and locally we've have so many bodies that we are working with. We are equally partnering with of the energy, clean energy companies. We have about 11 of them that we are partnering with. Presently, we just signed an MOU with Hero Bike. We call it we are equally partnering with Bajaj. We have a lot of them. We have RIFAN, that's Rice Association of Nigeria. We have various agricultural networks that we are partnering with. We equally have various associations, various cooperatives, various that are too numerous to mention. Our impact is best demonstrated through our success stories with our entrepreneurs. And as part of our CSRO, we equally our customers' children have benefited with our scholarship scheme. During employment, we equally give preference to our SME customers' children. So a lot we are doing for our customers, and that has actually assisted us in building our faith with them. Thank you so much.
It's been very interactive session and quite insightful, packed. We look forward to being able to continuously address the funding gaps for MSMEs in Nigeria sustainably, because again, SMEs are the powerhouse of the economy, and it's important for us as non-state actors to play a role in ensuring that we provide the requisite, funding support to galvanize players in the sector to deliver, better output and productivity for the businesses. So we'll take more questions if there are, or contributions. I mean, these are conversations that will help to influence, even society, and to view MSMEs as, in a different light, given the impact that they are, making in this country today. So we'd like to get more contribution to make this conversation more robust and ensuring that we're able to do justice to this discussion.
I don't know if we have any contribution or any question that we need to address. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Jesse, and founder of FarmCard Foods, an agri company based in Nigeria. Thank you for this very insightful space and listening to how Lapo has come through for the past 30 something years has been very inspiring. I think I've known Lapo for about 7, 8 years. And I think I saw them first of all in Ogun State when I started my business about 10 years ago, and how they were just everywhere and everyone's talking about Lapo. So I think I've come to understand them as the bank for the people. Also looking at Lapo and my own space, which is the Arabic space. Because of funding opportunities for agricultural businesses are really, really on the low, which we all know that GDP wise is one of the highest contributor. And finding that balance where businesses, genuine businesses in the Arabic space, can actually find the right funding mix to grow and scale their business and not have to jump from one bandwagon to another bandwagon, like yeah, jumping from one bank to another bank to actually help you grow your business. I'd like to know, first question is, what exactly is Lapo's drive or strategy towards the Arabic sector? And do you have any success stories with funding Arabic businesses? And at the same time, do you what's the limit or the capacity you can push any business under your brand or your company in an Arabic space? Or should people say, okay, fine, you're only going to deal with small businesses that deal between 5 million or 30 million or 45 million? And do you have business, do you accept businesses that are as big as that say, oh, fine, we do transactions worth over ₦1 billion, 1.5 billion, and we're looking for a funding mix to actually scale our projections or scale our operations, and you're going to be there for them, even though we might look at you as a microfinance bank? So those are a few questions I have. Other questions I'll flow through as the conversation goes on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, JC. For 1 billion, for now, no. So I'll just be direct on that. But one beautiful thing about Lapo is how we tend to grow our customer from a very small business to a bigger business, which we've actually proven over time. Then for agricultural businesses, we various type of agricultural businesses we actually finance all the value chain from the consumer to the production. We for crop, that's for short-term loans, we do for crops. We do long-term loan crops like maize, vegetable, cucumber, watermelon, and so on and so forth. For poultry businesses, we call it do that for both short-term and long-term loan. Poultry is like cock, turkey, goats, layers, and so on and so forth, and all form of beds. For piggery, a clear example is the the pig farm in Idris Shaga. I think that should be around the Cairo. About 50% of the customers of the farmers there are actually our customers. Then for fishery, we equally do anything that has to do with fishery, agro processing, and so on and so forth. We do bullet payments, especially for the short-term loan. We do like from 1 to 6 months. For a long-term loan, we do from 7 to 12 months. Then we equally have agricultural livestock loans for poultry. We equally go as much as doing input financing. Our farmers equally benefit from our ACGF fund. We tend to give back 40% of the interest drawback to our farmer if they successfully repay their loans for a particular period. So we have a relationship with ACGF, which is through our NAIC platform. That's 40% of the repayment amount is given to customer as a booster for their businesses. So for any form of agro business, in agro processing, any type of poultry, fishery, we are there. But the amount of up to 1 billion is not what Lapo is now. But gradually we'll get there, because we believe in the numbers. We are more of how many. Ours is more about impact. I'm not saying that if you are doing 1 billion, you are not making impact. After all, you have so many SMEs that are equally benefiting from your own business. But for now, the max we can do is say 100 million. But we are looking at scaling it up.
Thank you.
I hope I've been able
Yeah,
to
thank you. It was
answer
very
you.
clear. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think
Thank
Mr.
you.
Remy is back. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jesse. And it's good to know that we have gentlemen who are also into agriculture, because agriculture is also very critical to, having a sustainable economy. Like we already mentioned, contribute so much to the overall GDP of this nation. Of course, I would thank you, Paula, for those clarity provided on impact on agricultural funding in Nigeria today. Favor, please, your hands are up. Could you please unmute your mic and speak?
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you so
Lapo.
much.
Thank you, everybody on the space. I've been listening to what you guys are saying, and it's quite very interesting that I don't know if you have been having space like this or spaces like this in the time past, but I've seen you guys on this app for the first time. And for someone like me, I first heard about Lapo 15 years ago. And what I heard there was it was on the street. I heard about the word Lapo, and to some extent, it wasn't. Uh, do I say it wasn't on the good side, so to say? Because then I remember whenever someone is hustling excessively, they were like, "Oh, it's like you've taken Lapo money." So that was how I got to know this word Lapo. I was wondering. I did not even know it was a bank. I was wondering what this word Lapo 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 is. So someone eventually told me that it happens to be people that gives out money. I want to know because one major thing I've seen about Nigeria economy is that people, especially small scale businesses, they do not have access to funding. The banks don't give businesses money. It's very unfortunate. It's only when you are politically connected or you are connected to one of these MDs or whoever or the EDs, that is when you have access to funding in Nigeria system. So is there any way, since you guys happen to be more of the grassroots, is there any way, I don't know if you are doing it already though, if you could explore the services of underwriters, I believe that will help so many of these small scale businesses to be able to access funding because it, I've been in that position before, whereby you will just be moving from one bank to the other. They will ask you to open an account, run it for 6 months. As soon as you get to that 6 months, they will have excuse to tell you, out of frustration, you have to go to another bank. The circle will just continue like that. But I believe with the service of maybe underwriters, we'll be able to like mitigate the risk that you guys are running away from. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Favor, for those feedback. I'll just feedback very quickly. So, as you know, Lapo is a household name in Nigeria for microcredit. With over 500 branches in 34 states of Nigeria today, Lapo is synonymous and known across homes and businesses in Nigeria. I can tell you for free that Lapos has some of the best, banking principles as applied to how it engages with its customers. So oftentimes, what you hear, because Lapo has become synonymous with microcredit, even when people go to other micro, institutions to access loan, they say, "I'm going to access Lapo." Lapo has now become the name that is synonymous to microcredit in Nigeria. So it's not a case of you saying, "Oh, when people say I want to buy, Maclean, for instance," but referring to some other, brand of paste. So it's important for us to also provide that clarity here today because again, Lapo has the first common advantage, and that has made it a brand that has been, synonymous with credit. But I can tell you for free that if you hear any other thing, it is not coming from Lapo Microfinance Bank Limited. Oftentimes, we have to make this clarity and clarification to people who ask these questions. I just want to thank you. Of course, like you already said, that SMEs are having funding challenges. I can tell you now that Lapo, from inception, has disbursed 1.7 trillion naira to micro small medium enterprises in Nigeria, which means that we're deliberate about empowering that sector. Just last year, 2024, we disbursed over 200 billion to the SME space. All right. So, and for us, we will continue to improve in providing this funding. Of course, we also attract partners who believe in what Lapo is doing, because microfinance is actually meant to address the issues of poverty, and financial inclusion in a more sustainable manner. And that's what we do. And that's why it's different from the other microfinance bank, in this space. Of course. So you mentioned about underwriters. We'll take that feedback But of course, we're not risk averse. Most of our loans are not even collateralized. If you ask me, that is us expressing our risk and capability. I mean, if your loans are not collateralized, then I mean, you must have the risk threshold, the risk appetite, to be able to do provide those funding. So we're very grateful for all of the feedback, and we would really look forward to having further conversations, with participants on this call. So our email is info@lapo-nigeria.org, info@lapo-nigeria.org. So we're very glad to have this discussion continuously. I also believe that we'll probably access you to give you additional information on what the bank is doing, and see areas of collaboration and partnership for progress. So we're very happy for this conversation today, and we look forward to more discussions as we progress. Thank you, Mr. Bola, for Bola Lawal, for your contribution and discussion. So please, I would like to call you quickly in 1 minute. Give us a closing remark, Mr. Bola Lawal.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. So I'd just like to point out that when you see companies or banks like Lapo being out there to tell people, please come to us, we can help you, what they're saying is that we want to be your growth partner. And for a community like us, we do one thing every year called GrowthCon. And what we always try to do is, who are the catalysts? Who are the people that will help take you from point A to point B? And there's no business that does not need finance, that does not need funding. There's no SME that will say, oh, whether it's their own money or they got it from a bank or from somewhere, they need money. Money is the oxygen, money is the fuel to take you from point A to point B, or to keep you alive. And if anybody will take anything away from this, just know that Lapo, they've not paid me anything to do this for them, but I can identify when someone is serious about helping. And so what I've just seen here is that Lapo is positioning themselves as your growth partner. So I look forward to collaborations with Lapo. I look forward to seeing a lot more SMEs thriving. And I just want to thank everyone for being here, and Lapo for hosting and having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bola. Thank you so much. Please give us your closing remarks in just 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining this call. Honestly, this is a way of giving back to the society, because we believe that SMEs are the backbone of the country. So for us in Lapo, we'll continue to roll out innovative products. We'll continue to roll out innovative initiative for growth. So partner with us, and the stories you're hearing about Lapo, just like Mr. Remy have said, are just stories. Come to Lapo. Over 6 million customers cannot be wrong. Thank you so much for joining, and we look forward to having you as a partner. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Lawal. Thank you so much.
I'm very delighted when I hear people speak about Lapo, and testify to the fact that it's a bank that is really genuinely interested in empowering micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria. I mean, that is what we've always done, and we'll continue to do so, in spite of the challenges that we also go through as an institution. We go above and beyond to ensure that we secure funding that will enable us to unlend it to our various customers, and that's what we'll do. This year alone, we have we have the mandate to double what we did in 2024. So, I mean, we have done over 200 billion this last year, and then we're looking forward to doing even more, doubling that, this year in about a quantum of 400 billion. So these funds are available for MSMEs. That is what we do, and we are very grateful that this discussion is happening here. Please take this story out there, and we want to have further engagement, further conversation that will translate into, a sustainable partnership for growth. All right, so thank you very much. Once more, my name is Remy Akondi, and I'm Director of Marketing and Communications, and I would also love for us to have this discussion continuously. And our email is info@lapo-nigeria.org, info@lapo-nigeria.org. So this will enable us to have a continuous conversation, and we look forward to making impact continuously, across the MSME space. Because we believe strongly that the SME space must be empowered and must be, must be given the necessary support to continue to thrive, and impact on the economy of this country. So thank you so much, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for participation. I look forward to more engagement as we progress in the journey of improving lives. Thank you so much, and God bless.